Greetings. Welcome to Geek Talk with Sabrina Lowery and Friends. Geek is an acronym for Giving Entrepreneurs Expert Knowledge, with our subject matter experts and special guests that talk to us on the topics about lifestyle, leisure, wellness, technology, real estate, and all things getting your wealth together, right? So that financial house is in order. Our health is our wealth. Technology is being our savior. And not only that, but we are creating businesses and opportunities for lasting legacies. Welcome to Geek Talk. This is another episode with yours truly. If this is your first time to the broadcast, please drop a comment. Let me know where you're tuning in from. I'll be happy to bring you into the feed. We are live on YouTube, LinkedIn, and Facebook, and we will have all of the replays available on your favorite podcast platform, whether it's Spotify, YouTube, Apple Podcasts, iHeartRadio, or Amazon Music. You can find Geek Talk with Sabrina Lowery and Friends. Let's take a brief pause for the cause. I'd like to introduce you to a very special opportunity with yours truly. This is one of our listings that is available fully renovated, just like new. One story, 2 bedroom, 1 bath in Marietta, Georgia. This exclusive listing is available courtesy of Legacy Realty and Management. And you can go to the website legacyrealtyandmanagement.com to learn more about this property and more of our featured listings. Thank you. Please drop your comments in the chat. Next up, I'd like to welcome you to another special edition during this Black History Month, where we are bringing guests from all over the country that are always bringing forth that culture, that diversity, that conversation that is centered around Afrocentric business, the ways that our ancestors may or may not have done things, and all the things that we have learned along our journey as entrepreneurs, as small business owners, as leaders in our community. So while we get this broadcast going, I would like to bring attention to our special guest by introducing you to Ava Ivy. Ava is the founder and CEO of AI Promptly Hired LLC, a veteran led company redefining how organizations access and govern AI and machine learning talent. She is a workforce strategist, author of The AI Gold Rush and The Last Job on Earth, and a highly sought after speaker focused on helping leaders scale responsibly in the age of AI without burnout, ethical shortcuts, or loss of human accountability. I also want to let you know that Ava is the creator of Human Centered AI Workforce Strategy Framework, which guides organizations in adopting AI in ways that sustain growth and leadership, integrity, and long term legacy. She is also an alumni of the Milestone Circles program through the NASDAQ Entrepreneurial Center and the host of the upcoming podcast, The AI Gold Rush. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Geek Talk. Ava.
Thank you so much, Sabrina. I'm so glad to be here.
Thank you. I want to let our audience know that they will be able to connect with you and contact you along the way. And if you have questions for Ava, please be sure to drop them into the live podcast and we may be able to address it right here on the broadcast tonight. So, with that being said, Ava, let's jump right into the conversation. And I gave your bio, but want you to tell the people, what do you do and who do you do it for?
Well, Sabrina, again, thanks so much for having me this evening. At the core, what I try to do is I try to help organizations and individuals navigate AI without losing the human thread. I'm the founder and CEO, as you said, of AI Promptly Hired LLC, where we help companies access vetted AI and machine learning talent in 72 hours or less. But we're not a traditional staffing firm. We operate on a subscription model and we focus on long term workforce readiness, not just filling roles. You ask about my ideal clients. My ideal clients are founders, executives, and leaders who know AI is critical, but they don't want the hype. They don't want the chaos or unethical shortcuts. Excuse me. They want speed. They want clarity. They want governance and trust. Now, whether it's a startup scaling fast or an established organization modernizing responsibly, I work with people who understand that how you adopt AI matters just as much as when.
Thank you so much for that, Ava. And when people think about you and they think about the future, sometimes we have to take them back to the past and we have to describe our journey and let them know how we actually got to where we are today. Sometimes people are forced into a career or a lifestyle. And I want you to just go back a little bit and tell the people before you were the AI strategist that you are today, how did your journey begin?
Well, interestingly enough, I have been in human resources for 30 plus years. I started my career in human resources in the military. I was, a young person, I went on to active duty as a journalist. And I got off of active duty, went back to college, got my bachelor's degree, got my master's, and I went on what was called then the Green to Gold program. At that time, I was able to also get my commission as an Army officer. I have always been interested in technology, but I've always been more interested in people. And when I decided to leave, excuse me, when I decided to leave human resources, being with big companies like SC Johnson and Kraft Foods, PricewaterhouseCoopers, Coors Brewing Company, you name it, I decided to pivot. And when I decided to pivot, I decided to take a look at the thing that I was always really interested in, and that was technology. But I also wanted to make sure that I kept the human piece centered at all times because I really believe that's important for us to see AI and technology as tools and to keep the human element front and center at all times. So that's how I got into AI promptly hired. I decided to start my own company. I decided to take that leap of faith, not only in myself, but also in God. And that's when I decided, okay, I wanted to do something that I know about, and that is staffing. And I also wanted to do something that was different to turn and be disruptive to the staffing industry. And we've been able to do that very quickly, even to the extent that in 2025, my company has been named the number one vet run staffing organization in the US by Best of Best, Best of Best. I'm losing my train of thought. I apologize. Best of Best recognition. So I'm very, very proud of that.
That's awesome. That is awesome. And I want everyone to give a congratulations in the comments, in the feed. Ava is doing amazing things. And to be recognized in this day and age, in this male dominated industry where there aren't many leaders that look like us, I just want to celebrate you and give you your flowers for being a woman in tech and leading a veteran owned business and also a minority owned business. So some of those categories get us into rooms and create opportunities that other women may not have. So let's go into that DEI perspective of the conversation and think about our audience. Think about our milestone circle participants and people that you've met along the way, and talk about the culture. How has that influenced not just your journey, but being a woman in HR, being a woman in business, and being a woman in tech?
Well, as you look at AI and the tech workforce now, excuse me, it's right now at a crossroads. So are many other industries, but AI and tech right now is truly at a time where we have to really look at what is important in the business. And unfortunately, from my perspective, a lot of companies are quietly backing away from the DEI language. But the underlying challenges haven't gone anywhere. Bias, access gaps, burnout, as well as trust issues, they still exist. And so in my company, I manage culture by focusing on the outcomes instead of the optics. I look at psychological safety. I look at inclusion, clear expectations, ethical standards, as well as accountability. Bottom line, when you're looking at technical and AI organizations right now, they're not totally focused on the right things, but we really need to help them move back to human centered AI. It's not about the slogans, it's about designing systems where people can do their best and they can do their best work without being dehumanized by the tools that they've been asked to use. When you lead that way, inclusion then becomes operational and not political.
I agree with that 100%. I hope that our audience understands the level of importance of this conversation. It is something that is relevant today. It is absolutely timely. And we have to still go back to the history, because I can remember being a woman in tech, in IT, in the South, and people did not look like me. People did not operate and think like me, but yet you want me on your team. Is that just to check a box for a DEI hire? Or is that truly because you recognize the value that I can bring to that workspace? So, those are some of the questions. And I commend you for being that leader in your industry. And now let's shift the conversation about the culture piece, and how AI is just, is it a fad? Is it another one of those everybody's on the bandwagon for AI? Or is it truly something that will be an upskill for people
Mm.
that they need to dive deeper into so they can get those workforce opportunities?
Yes. A lot of people say that AI is just another tech trend. They say that it's just something that is a quote unquote bandwagon type of thing, and they come and approach it with skepticism. And what you just said is a fair question. And to be perfectly honest, I think skepticism is healthy. We should be skeptical. But if I zoom out for a moment, what we're really talking about isn't a tool. It isn't a bandwagon or a moment in time. It's a shift in how work gets done. And I see this every day at AI Promptly Hired. AI is not replacing people wholesale, but it is changing which skills matter and how fast teams need to move and how leaders need to make decisions. And that's why I focus so much on human centered adoption, because trends fade, but workforce transformation never does.
I agree with that. And here's the thing that I would like the change to be more inclusive. So, not just gender specific, not just age. Let's talk about ageism as a part of the culture, because that needs to be recognized, not
Yeah.
just in our IT industry, but across the board. Period, right? In anyone's boardroom. Have you experienced any of those concerns along your journey, Ava?
Honestly, I have never, I've never ever, thank God, have been exposed to that type of mindset or that kind of again, gatekeeping, if you will. I have always been the individual to speak my way to the table. No matter what you tell me, I'm going to tell you what I believe is best for your business. I'm going to tell you why it's best for your business, and then I'm going to prove it out to you. So I have never ever had the experience where me being a woman or being a person of color or being, over 40 I've never experienced that. And
Mm.
I truly believe, because of the way that I approach the question or approach the opportunity, I don't believe I'm ever going to have that experience. However, if individuals do, my suggestion is to, one, have the confidence to tell the individuals what you're doing, why you're doing, why it will benefit them, and then show them. And those four things will get you at the table and will keep you at the table.
See, ladies and gentlemen, that is why we are the Geek Talk and we give entrepreneurs expert knowledge. I hope you picked up what Ava just put down. Those were some gems. Those are the nuggets. Those are the wins for today. So we're going to clip that. We're going to make sure the audience knows that that is the key word for today. In our journey, in the transformational journey in entrepreneurship, I would love for us to talk about mentorship along the way, which is why and how we became connected through the NASDAQ Entrepreneurial Center's Milestone Circles program. And so, not only as a mentor mentee relationship, but in the paying it forward, I'm sure in your community, you've been a mentor along the way. So, Ava, talk to our audience about your feeling of mentorship and how has that benefited you along your journey?
Well, I truly believe that it's important. Mentorship, I wouldn't be where I am today without the strong mentors in my life. I have had and have been so blessed to have strong leaders, women, women of color, to take me alongside and bring me alongside, give me experiences and exposure to opportunities that have not been easy. If anything, they put my hands to the fire or put me in the fire and said, "Work your way out." And quite frankly, that has made me again a strong leader myself. I really truly believe that it's important for me to reach back, and I have done that in every organization I've ever been in. I'm proud to say that individuals that have come to me and have worked with me as either benefit specialists or HR generalists, because of the ability that I've had and the mentorship that I've shown to them, they are now directors, even some are VPs of human resources today. I am so excited about the fact that I have the opportunity, and I've told my brother this, who has his own company. I told him, I said, my life is about continuing to pour out to people the way that it was poured into me. And until I leave here, that's what I'm going to do. So I believe that again, mentorship is extremely important. And if you too much is given, again, much is required.
That is so true. And I feel the same way. I believe in that paying it forward. And I am not a resource hog, meaning I don't just collect the information for me, I collect the information for my entire community. So that's just an example of some of the ways that I give back. And one of the ways that I give back is with the NASDAQ Entrepreneurial Center's Milestone Circles program. Those 12 weeks when we onboard these entrepreneurs and they have no clue what the program even is going to do for them, to the transformation keyword for tonight that you've used, right? That you've experienced. And I would love for you to just share what that looked like, even
Oh
as we
gosh.
were connected from beginning to end. Talk about your
Yeah.
journey over that 12 weeks, and you could even share what your milestone was.
Well, it was amazing because really I had, just started AI, promptly hired in the beginning of the year. And um, one of the things that I really wanted to do was to be able to create a repeatable and a sustainable process around not just how I we recruited individuals, but to connect it in a way that would also be connected to business development as well. The other thing that was important for me was um, the process is one wherein you learn to create cadence for yourself. And I that was one of the things that I said at the end of the process. If I would not have created those cadences for myself every week, I knew what I was going to do Monday through Friday, based upon what I said I needed my milestones to be. And ultimately, what ended up happening is because of that cadence, I was able to meet all three and exceed all three of the milestone, rather the requirements to show up on the tower. And so not one, but all three. And so I was very excited about that, about the revenue piece, about hiring, and then also about funding. I was amazed, and it seemed miraculous, but it was process. Follow the process, you will see the results. And that's exactly what happened with me. And if anyone wants to be part of Milestone Circles, I tell you, follow the process. It truly works.
Yeah, I agree. I agree wholeheartedly. I think that we are at a point where we should give a shout out to our guests and those that have tuned in and just thank them for being here this evening. And the congratulations have come in from our audience to you, Ava, for all the great work and the recognition that you've had. So, congrats on everything that you are doing in your community and the change that you're making, the impact, right? And that's what is sustainable. That's what makes a difference for us as small business owners. When you are able to not just pay it forward, but you're actually able to impact another real human's life, right? Not just in our technical skills, but those soft skills that matter also. So let's shift the conversation and talk about what might be next for Ava. What have you got planned for 2026 and beyond?
Oh my gosh, I've got so much going on right now. Excuse me. I don't know why my throat is acting crazy. I think it's on purpose. But I've got so much going on right now. Um, I actually, I think you said it at the outset. I've got a new book coming out in March, and it is called The Last Job on Earth. It's an actual fiction discussion about what happens if we don't do the AI thing right, and what could happen if it gets out of control, if we do lose our humanity. And it's more of a thriller, and it's been fun writing it. So hopefully, folks will be looking for it. It'll be on Amazon. The next thing that I'm also doing is I'm actually starting my podcast. It's the AI Gold Rush, and it's really sort of talking about what we're doing as AI professionals, and founders like myself. But it's more so doing it with sort of a tongue in cheek, sort of funny, sort of humorous, because we can't take this AI thing all that seriously. And so it's going to be some comedy involved and some humor involved, some pluses and some fails. So that's going to be coming out in April. Additionally, I have a couple of new educational pieces that are coming out. I have licensed programs called for children, ACME. And ACME is really sort of teaching children not just to build apps, but to utilize AI responsibly. and then the AI Gold Rush Learning Program for adults. And so we've got a lot of things on the table. And finally, which is really sort of exciting, I have a data person working with me right now, and we're actually getting prepared to join NVIDIA's Inception program. This will prepare us to be ready to assist enterprise organizations that are looking not just for AI talent, but also for innovation and innovative tools that we're creating right now to create more so of a predictive approach to staffing versus a reactive. And so, again, that's going to disrupt the staffing industry a little bit. And so, as you can see on the screen, the human centered AI workforce strategy framework is also one that we use for enterprise organizations. And that is really workshop focused to teach organizations really what should be present when you're looking at building an AI workforce that should be um, focused on integrity as well as human, again, human centered and human focused. That's pretty much a lot, but trust me, we're getting it all done, and we're really excited about the next few coming up months.
That is so amazing. I wanted to make sure that I pulled up your website with that framework so that everyone could see exactly what we're talking about, being meaningful with our conversations. And not just that, but giving our entrepreneurs that expert knowledge that you have so that you are able to help them not just grow their business, but to sustain their business. So, ladies and gentlemen, I've already given you Ava's contact information. We want to make sure that you know how to get in touch with her. We also want you to connect with her on LinkedIn. If you are on LinkedIn, you can follow Ava there. So let me stop sharing this website here and let's shift into our final conversation, which is all about our future collaborations. When we're thinking about how we want to engage our audience and that call to action that's in a very meaningful way, let our audience know who is your ideal client right now. What talent might you be looking to onboard? And what opportunities might you even be looking forward to?
Well, right now, the field is wide open. It's wide open. There is such immense need for AI focused talent, whether it's data, whether it's program managers in AI, whether it's hybrid roles in AI, whether it's just even AI specialists or even machine learning specialists. It is really important for people to realize that AI right now has so much to offer. What I think my when I look at our talent pool right now, we have a bench of talent strength right now that if a vice president of AI or a CTO would contact us, we could easily fill a role again within 48 to 72 hours. Our talent has been vetted. That means that we've done their background screens, we've done their reference checking, we've done all of the interviewing and prepping, so they are ready to go at any time. So when a leader is looking for AI talent, we're a different sort. One, because we do not use the traditional means of search, and we also don't do the traditional means of payment. We have a subscription model, and you pay on a monthly basis. And what ends up happening is that there is quite a substantial state savings to you as a business owner, as a enterprise, as a scaling AI organization. If you decide to come with us, you will find that our subscription model is something that is totally unseen and undone in staffing today. So that's what we've got going on. I mean, I
I
think that
like
we're
that.
in a good place.
I love that. And I saw on your website also that's available for our audience, this talent playbook that you were just
Yeah.
talking about the talent. So talk to them about this offer.
It's free. I mean, you go to the website and you download, and you will find that there are 7 competencies that every AI organization or every AI uh, department should be looking for in their people. And so all you have to do is download it. If you want to talk to me, you can press and you can get on my Calendly and we can discuss it. If you want to talk about anything that would be workshop related, we have so many opportunities for you to one find out what your AI readiness is for your organization, as well as what your workforce would need to get ready if you're not. So it's a lot of good stuff out there. So please just visit the website, take a little visit through, and you'll see that there's a lot there for you. And we're glad to answer any questions that you might have.
Oh, that's awesome. Thank you so much for that. I really appreciate when our experts have those offers for our audience. We want to make sure they know. Go to aipromptlyhired.com and be sure that you scroll all the way down to get that offer. Take advantage. Connect with Ava Ivy. Make sure that those resources are in your tool belt, and not just that, but that you actually make that human connection, because you never know. They may be that strategic partner that you were needing and looking for. So I appreciate the conversation, Ava. With this being our fourth episode, I am very excited to continue this celebration in our Black History Month. Not just that, but in celebrating women in technology. So if you've got any events that are coming up in the next few weeks or so, and you want to share with our audience, now would be the time to do so.
Well, right now we're basically heads down trying to get ready for NVIDIA, and so we don't have any events right now. However, like I said, if you wanted to go ahead and get involved in our workshops or get involved in our the downloads about talent, or even look at the quiz and take the quiz, we're glad to set up anything with anyone at any time with regards to building your AI workforce and building it responsibly.
That's perfect. Thank you so much, Ava. It has been a great conversation with you this evening. I hope that our audience takes advantage of the knowledge that you've shared, the resources that you've given them on your website, and they know how to connect with you on LinkedIn. So, ladies and gentlemen, I want you all to just thank Ava for being here today. I want you all to be sure that if you are watching this on the replay or you have downloaded this podcast, that you continue to follow both Ava and myself. And Ava, thank you so much for being on Geek Talk.
Well, thank you so much for the conversation, Sabrina. This was truly energizing. And if anyone listening wants to keep exploring these ideas with me, I'm always sharing and engaging on LinkedIn, and I'd love to stay connected there.
Thank you. You have a great rest of your evening. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for tuning in for another powerful episode of Geek Talk, where we give entrepreneurs expert knowledge by inviting our subject matter experts into the conversation. And we not only have the conversation, but we drop some real gems and share real offers and resources that will benefit you and your colleagues along the way. Share this episode, download and subscribe. Follow Geek Talk Podcast, with Sabrina Lowery and Friends. And up next, on our next episode, we will have a very special guest, Nay Liggins, founder and chief storyteller of Nay Liggins Agency, will be with us on the next episode of Geek Talk. My name is Sabrina Lowery, and they call me the Tech Evangelist. This has been my pleasure hosting you on another episode of Geek Talk. Have a great rest of your day.